begin today with our artist spotlight, Elkhorn. It's the original new series from INSP that gives historical insight into one of our most complex and exciting presidents, that'd be Theodore Roosevelt. An Idahoan actor, Mason Beals. He was a shoo-in for the role once he met Beals. He was a shoo-in for the role once he met the casting director and producer. So we're lucky enough to have Mason here with us in studio to share with us his experience and also give a little behind the scenes look at Elkhorn. I know that April Neal, she's a part of Idaho Today, was super excited about this series, had the chance to go on set, and now we have you here in studio. How lucky are we? But I have to begin with the fact that you're from Idaho. So where in Idaho do you hail from?
I'm originally from Coeur d'Alene, you know, shout out to Tubbs Hill and Hudson's Hamburgers.
Oh, very nice.
From Coeur d'Alene, grew up there. You know, definitely missing a little bit, but happy to be here, you know.
Are you stationed in Los Angeles now?
Now I'm in LA, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool,
Yeah,
very cool.
Totally.
All right, so tell us how you came about to Elkhorn. So you went on a casting call?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was basically like they put out the, you know, I got like a self-tape request, right?
Yeah.
And it was for a young Theodore Roosevelt, and I definitely was like, you know, I'm kind of like a goofy little comedy guy, and definitely didn't think I was like the presidential type. But, you know, I did my research, and I was like, you know, I'll give it my best shot. And then, you know, one thing led to another, and it was like kind of just, you know, callbacks and like chemistry tests and all this stuff. That it was just like, yeah, they kind of kept being like, you're our guy. Like we're not really talking to other people about this role, you know? And so, yeah, it just happened to work out that like I just sort of really connected with like who he is during this time, and like, and yeah. So it kind of just one thing led to another, and I just was on this crazy journey, you know, this whole last year.
That's super exciting. So you've been filming this for a year.
Yeah.
Okay, and then now we're to the point where this is going to be released.
Yeah.
Which is super exciting.
Totally.
Tell us about Elkhorn, though. Obviously, you know, it's about former President Theodore Roosevelt, but it's an interesting chapter of his life, right? So tell us about that.
Yeah, this is definitely like a Theodore Roosevelt that like people haven't really like gotten to see before. You know, this is him before he's the big president, before he's kind of like this like frontiersman. He is experiencing a total tragedy in his life. He lost his mom and his wife on the same day, Valentine's Day, right after his first child is born, his first daughter. And after this sort of like unthinkable tragedy, he kind of deals with it in the way that he thinks is best. He decides to drop everything and just go become a cowboy. He decides to become a, you know, cattle rancher, which is definitely, you know, we all have our ways of processing things, and he has his very unique way of dropping everything and just pursuing his dream of just becoming a cowboy. And yeah.
So he's kind of doing some soul searching, if you will, right?
100%, yeah. The way that I heard it kind of compared to recently by one of the producers was like if somebody kind of had something like this happen and in modern day got into F1 racing. You know, it's like that kind of a thing. It's like, okay, yeah, we'll let you deal with this in the way that you think is kind of the way to deal with this, you know?
Yeah.
But no, definitely a lot of soul searching to like become, you know, the leader and the man that he like becomes.
Eventually comes, yeah. So this is basically the story of his journey to, like you said, it's almost his chrysalis, right?
Yes, yeah.
He experiences tragedy, now he has to grow, he goes into his chrysalis, and one day he blooms as this lovely butterfly and becomes our president. What was your moment where you realized that this is a character that you actually have some connection with, right? Because I mean, while you're developing a character, you also have to bring a bit of yourself to it too.
Yeah. I definitely found that like he is such a weirdo, you know? Like, I mean, really, he is such...
So eloquently put,
Yeah, he's just such a weirdo. I mean, he's like a total fish out of water. I mean, the amount of people that call him Four Eyes in the show is like, you know, and he gets like...
He was bullied, right?
Absolutely, he was bullied. You know, I definitely like had some of that growing up, you know. I think, again, he definitely, although he was sort of a leader and was able to make these connections, like he definitely, I think, always kind of felt on the outside. And yet he sort of had this like determination to just sort of always kind of do what he wants, and I definitely like agree with that. You know, I find myself to be like a pretty determined person, so I definitely like relate to maybe even some of his like thick-headedness, you know, at times. But ultimately, yeah, he's just somebody that I definitely was able to kind of like find some connection to.
How excited are you for this the premiere to hit?
Oh, I mean, I'm so excited. I mean, all my family is like, anytime like the network posts something about like any sort of like press release or anything, it's like they're sharing it on Facebook immediately. You know what I mean? And that's super exciting. And at the same time too, it was a lot of shooting like over several months, and I've gotten to see some episodes, and it's just like, oh yeah, it's just so surreal when like you get to like see all that stuff put together.
See the culmination of
Yeah,
everything come
especially all the
together.
fight scenes, you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah. So how do our viewers, everyone at home, tune in and watch and see this?
They can tune in to INSP. It premieres April 11th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And then it premieres weekly from there. There's going to be 10 episodes in total this season. And I think that's all the details.
That's about it. Maybe they follow online too as well,
I
right?
believe they can follow online.
What about you? How do they follow you, Mason?
I am on Instagram, Mason Beals 97. That's kind of my main place where you can see me post weird photos of myself.
Excellent.
Yeah. Just because I'm like I said, I'm a goofy little guy. I'm sure if Teddy Roosevelt had a Instagram too, he'd be posting
some weird stuff as well.
Yeah. Probably a lot of bugs and animals and stuff like that. Quite the animal lover.
Well, this version of Teddy Roosevelt certainly does, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Mason, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate you taking the time to swing in here, visit with us, and we cannot wait to see what's next, what's to come. Maybe we'll have you back again for season 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Would love to. Yeah,
All right.
totally.
Everyone stick around. More to come right here on Idaho Today right after the break.